Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, my name is Edith and I like to read books and yap about them to you guys. And if you saw my last video, you will know what we're doing today. We're doing a 24 readathon. I'm not going to go over my history of 24 readathons. I've never done a successful one. I've tried multiple times. Last time I tried was with a friend. We made it 13 hours and I actually think that might be a new record for me. But then we went to sleep. Or we went too late into the night and then we went to sleep, and the next morning I felt sick. So that has been the thing that has ruined it for me, has been the trying not to sleep. So this time we're doing differently. I love Emmy, and if you don't know who Emmy is, I'm gonna put her profile somewhere, maybe just in the bio. And she does 24-hour readathons basically like once a month, sometimes multiple times a month, and I'm like, how? Anyway, she does them in 12-hour intervals, so I do think that's what we're going to be doing. Actually, I don't think, I know. However, I'm not like completely set in my ways. Like if I start very early the first day and therefore read more than 12 hours, we'll just do that. But I'm just going to start a 24-hour timer. Whenever I am reading, listening to an audiobook or anything like that, the timer will be going. If I take a break for anything, a shower, I don't actually know, or like mostly just like a shower or sleeping is what we'll pause it for. That's my plan, at least, to try and read as much as possible for 2 days to see if we can get up to 24 hours, which we should be able to do. We should be able to do that pretty easily. But yeah, we're gonna start a timer, pause it whenever I'm doing anything, but we're going to be sleeping at night. That is my one priority, is going to bed at a reasonable hour and like sleeping a full night's sleep before picking a book back up the next day. But we're actually not starting it today. I just finished my last read, which was Babel. If you saw the last video, again, you'll know I just took a week off from filming, and yes, it took me a week to get through this book. If you're curious on rating, even though I'm not sure if I'm going to rate it or what I'm going to rate it, my Fable is always linked down below, so you can always look me up there to see what I thought of this book. But I just finished that, so I'm going to start a book now that I'm not planning on finishing until we're in the 24 readathon. We have a little set TBR. We have 4 physical books. Actually, we have 3 physical books, an audio book, and then a Kindle book. But these are like my priority. Let's start with people watching. This is the book I'm going to be starting today or tomorrow, and therefore I will already be in this book once we start the 24 readathon. For like context, it's currently Monday. We're gonna start this Wednesday because I have plans tomorrow. But I'm gonna start this today or tomorrow. Like I said, that means we're already going to be a little bit into it by then, hopefully, which I think is a good strategy because, first of all, getting into a book is always the hardest part. So like, all right, starting the entire thing off with already being into a book is a great idea in my brain. And then let's go over the plan, because while I am not sure if the plan is going to go the way I want it to, this is the plan. Finishing off this one, and then once I finished off that one, I want to read Survive the Night by Riley Sager. This is my first Riley Sager book that I'm actually planning on finishing, because I picked up one other that I still have on my shelf. So I have like DNF'd it, picked it up at a bad time, never finished it. So my first actual Riley Sager book, and I really want to read this at night. Not too late at night, but I want to start it so I'm like reading it into the night, which is why I was like, perfect, we'll finish off this one, start this one. And then this is kind of my goal for the first day, is to get these 2 done. And then the next day we might get into Light Lark. This is at least also on my TBR. Light Lark by Alex Astor, which is a YA fantasy. It's a short one. It's 400 pages basically, which gives me the idea that it should be really quick read and therefore kind of good for this entire idea. And then we have One of Us is Next, which I'm currently listening to on an audiobook. So that this means this is going to be more on the back burner unless I decide I want to like physically read it. But this is more for like some breaks, because I know I will go crazy if I have to sit like this for 12 hours straight. So the audiobook is for like taking a break for like some crochet or coloring books or cooking or going for a walk. If I feel like I need to do any of that, we have the audiobook. But that's kind of, like I said, on the back burner. So this is just like a constant one I will be picking up whenever I'm doing anything where I can't sit down with a book in my hand. Like I said, we're not going to start this now. I am just going to start People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young now. Good morning. It kind of looks like it's the middle of the night because it's that dark outside. It's the second morning in a row where I wake up and look outside and I'm like, is it morning? Because I don't sleep with my phone. So I have to like ask my Google. Wow. I just have to ask my Google thing I have in my room what time it is every single morning lately. And then I ask and it's like, oh, it's 7 a.m. And I'm like, what? Like just a week ago, I think the sun was like rising at 7. To be fair, it could be rising and I just can't see it because it's rainy outside. But the good thing about that is that it's rainy and cloudy, and I think it's going to be like that all day, possibly also tomorrow. But today is probably the most important because today is fully just going to be reading inside. Like I said, I started it yesterday and I made it exactly an hour. We're down to 23 hours of this. I read this, started this and read 52 pages into this. And so far, I already have like mixed emotions, but it's more like this could go in different directions and there's some directions that I would not enjoy. I'm a little bit scared that it's going to be a little bit too, I wouldn't say insta-lovey because they don't meet and love each other, but they meet and they're instantly like, or he's at least instantly like, I want to have sex with this woman. But I feel like Hannah Bonham Young could spin this and write it in a way where it doesn't end up feeling too insta-lovey. I am also just scared that it's going to be very heavy on the lust, which I'm not a fan of, but I'm actually really excited about this. However, I think it's going to be kind of emotional because the female main character's mom has early onset dementia. I still think that's going to be really hard things, especially because it's her mom. And if you know anything about me, you know how much I love my mom. So having to read about other people and their moms scares me. And then while I was getting ready last night, I listened a little bit more to this audiobook. I got one more chapter into it. So I am on page 68 now, which means I do feel like I also need to talk a little bit about this one because I also am pretty sure we're gonna start with this morning because I need to make a coffee, breakfast, clean my face off, all of that sort of stuff. And while I could just wait with the timer, I feel like the smartest thing to get as much done as possible is to just start the timer the minute I'm done filming and put on this audiobook while I make my coffee and breakfast and all of that sort of stuff, and then wait with the physical reading until I'm like more awake. However, to this book, I am actually kind of enjoying this. I remember really enjoying the first book, even though it has been years since me and my friend read that the first time. That does also mean there's some of the references to that book I don't remember. Like they were talking about some of the characters, but this is completely new characters. They just kind of mention briefly what happened in the last book. Some of the characters from the last book get like brought up, but just like this is how they're doing after everything. Sure, it's high schoolers and it's like a little bit young, but the one place I still think I enjoy YA is in fact in like thrillers and mysteries. So I'm really enjoying this. I don't think it's gonna be like anything spectacular where I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, 5 stars, but I think it's gonna be a quick and easy read, and I'm enjoying the fact that I have this audiobook. And then people watching. I want to quickly tell you guys what this is about because I just said my thoughts on it, but basically, also I'm not that far into it. We're just gonna leave it at that. So I'm gonna do what I said 2 seconds ago, put on this audiobook, make my coffee, because that seems important to do for today, figure out what I want for breakfast, because I'm pretty sure I just want something really easy. So the question is, what do I have that is easy? And then eat that, probably also while listening to the audiobook. Maybe I'll pause it because I'm still the type of person who needs to watch something. So maybe I'll find like a quick YouTube video to watch while I'm eating. And then once I'm fully awake, we'll get started on this book. And then my goal is, first of all, to just read until I finish this book. Like I said, my goal for today is to finish this one and then get started on the Riley Sager book. I mean, my hope would be to be able to read both of them today, but I also know me, and like the further into this we get, the slower I'm gonna start reading. So my dream would be to finish both of those. The goal is to finish this and get started on the Riley Sager book. And then, like I said, this one, I have no goals about finishing this. I just want to get far enough into it that I'm gonna want to finish the audiobook fairly quickly, possibly after the challenge. But those are our reading plans for today. So let's just get started. I made my coffee. My breakfast needs to like stand on the oven to defrost, and then I can put it in the oven. And yes, I am eating pigs and blankets for breakfast. I just wanted something easy. I really did. I do think I'm gonna wait a little bit now, cook my breakfast, eat that while I'm watching YouTube, and then we're gonna get started on the reading, physical reading portion of today's video, and get started on this one. And then the minute I get started on this one, I'm gonna try and go no breaks all the way to the end, depending. Like if it's all of a sudden lunchtime and I still haven't finished this, obviously I'm gonna take a break and make lunch. But I don't want to start the next chapter of the audiobook. The thing is, I'm enjoying it, but I'm very bad at audiobooks while like doing things that aren't like sitting down with like a pumpkin or a crochet project and all of that. So I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on my computer, but an hour at the most, and then we should be ready to actually get started. There it was. Yeah. All right. I hope it's not too annoying with the lamp. I think it looks okay. You guys are also really shaky right now. It's my Stanley, which is apparently the one thing I'm filming on, isn't very stable. I should probably also turn off some of the light. I still have the atmosphere thing in the background, but I think it has like less than 30 minutes left. And I'm almost halfway. So I thought we'd do a little quick update about my thoughts, and then I'll do a final update. I'm actually really enjoying this. It's not, and I can already say this now, it's not going to be my favorite romance ever because it is very heavily based on lust. However, the lust part is just written very nicely. Like the tension they have, like I've been dying since Paige, like whenever they first met, from the tension. And like, yeah, it's a little bit because the man is a little bit of a man whore, yeah, but like I like him anyway. This I'm not even sure if I told you guys what this is about, but basically we have Prudence and Milo. Prudence is very much like me, an introvert. She's not very experienced. She's actually not experienced at all when it comes to the sexual stuff. And her mom has early onset dementia. So she's taking care of her mom. She doesn't want her mom to be put in a home, so she's helping her dad out with the mom, even though the plot of the book, the dad kind of wants to put the mom in a home, mostly for the mom's own sake. And I feel like this has been a very big topic in books lately. This was also in Abby Jimenez's book that came out this summer, was also on dementia and like the entire taking care of them and how far do you need to go. And the dad is basically like, I want to put her in a home because I know she would want you to live your life, and right now you're not living your life. You've put it on pause to take care of her, and there are other people out there that we could pay to take care of her without it being like bad. But Prudence feels like that's not needed. So to prove to her dad that she can take care of the mom and have a life at the same time, she strikes up kind of like a deal with Milo. And now it sounds like they're about to do fake dating. They're not. I don't think they're about to do fake dating. They're more gonna do like a friends with benefits, so that way she proves to her dad that she can get friends and take care of her mom at the same time, and he will teach her stuff about sex because he has had sex with over 200 people, which makes him very experienced and therefore kind of perfect for this role. But like, he's low-key already obsessed with her, and I kind of love that. Like, they both have their different like why they don't want to be doing this. He's like, he only does casual things, so he's a little bit worried because he keeps talking about how beautiful she is, and like she keeps saying things that makes him be like, oh god, I can't do this with her because like I kind of want to be her friend and do the sex thing, but he doesn't want to do those things together. Where she, on the other hand, is very inexperienced, and she's like, maybe it will be embarrassing, maybe we won't fit because he's so experienced and I'm not experienced at all. And I'm really enjoying this. Again, like I said, not a 5-star read because I normally like in books when like I like a slow burn because I was about to say I like the tension, but this book, like I said, has tension, but I like for the first half of the book to just build up a relationship, like a friendship. And I feel like this isn't only doing that, it's also heavily focused on like not the spice, because there hasn't been any spice yet, but like I have had butterflies in my stomach at a lot of scenes anyway because of like the tension. So this actually does have a lot of stuff that I am enjoying. I am really enjoying this. I feel like I want to have like more nuanced thoughts about this because I feel like there's been so many mixed opinions. I get what some people may not like. I just think Hannah Bonham Young is actually doing a great job at not making it seem insta-lovey, even though they have like instant lust. But I feel like it's also realistic because some relationship starts off being just like, we really want each other in that way, and then through that, they're gonna get to know each other and realize that they might want more than just that. I think that's what we're getting on. Also, I feel like both the main characters are gonna have like a lot of plot to them as characters. We have Prudence, who has a bunch of stuff going on with her mom, all of this stuff. She's a very introvert, but she kind of wants to be. Like, she's not introvert because she like doesn't want friends. She's just always had a hard time making friends. And then we have Milo, who's like, he's not good at the whole emotions things, which is why he does all of this he doesn't do emotions because of his childhood, which we haven't gone that much into yet. I'm kind of hoping we do. I'm kind of hoping that's maybe where she can help him, if she can like get him out of that like protective shelf he's put up and get to actually talking about it, because I feel like that would make this book so great if like it's gonna give it more depth. And I feel like if they don't do that, then I'm gonna be a little bit disappointed, because I feel like that's what makes it a difference between a book just based on lust and sex in an actual romantic book where they have depth to them and they get to know each other on this deep level. I feel like they could really do that and they could really help each other with that. That was a very long clip of me talking about this book and my thoughts, but basis of it all, I'm really enjoying it here halfway through, but there's also places where I could see, like, there's stuff I need to happen, and if that doesn't happen, I'm gonna be disappointed with the last half of the book. Yeah. But I do think I might be able to finish this before lunch, which is scary. It's scary. We're officially at 22 hours and like 23 minutes or something. So we have only been going for like 2 hours almost. Why do I feel like I should have been so much further into that? Oh, Jesus. I am going to get back into reading this, and I will give you guys an update once we finish. I lied with the time. It's 21 hours and 22 minutes. So we have read for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Thank God. I was also like, it cannot be true that I've only read for like a little bit over an hour. But no, we read for almost 3 hours soon. And that's pretty well done. Just set the camera up because I was crying and I was like, you know what, let's just get it over with. I have like 35 pages left of this book. Oh, Jesus Christ. Great, okay. Let's fucking do this. Okay, we're at 19 hours and like 30 minutes, which I hate this because my math is bad. But I think that means it's been 4 hours and 30 minutes and we finished our first book. This was a 5-star. I know I had talked 2 seconds ago. Last time I talked about the book. Let's start there. I think I had a little bit of mixed emotions, but I don't actually think I was having mixed emotions. I think because I've heard so many negative things about this book, I was trying to like find what other people were not liking about it and like inserting it into my own brain and my own feelings, even though I was not feeling it. I loved this book. I need to start reading the romance books that everybody else hates. Fuck the ones people love. The depthness. If you didn't see in my last clip, I cried my eyes out multiple times in this book. And like, I feel like of this short book, that takes a lot for you to like get the reader connected enough with the characters to cry in that short amount of like time span. But I do feel like that's what Hannah Bonham Young does. I've read a few books by her, haven't loved all of them. I read Out on a Limb and I loved that one. And then I read The Next of Kin and I was like, that was okay. It wasn't a great book, but it wasn't a bad book. And then I read her queer Christmas novella. Didn't love that one, but mostly because it was a novella. And I just never really love novellas. But this one, I loved it. I think I'm sticking with the 5 stars and I'm sticking kind of with everything I said last time I talked, except for all of the like negative things I was trying to push on this book. I loved both of these characters. I related a lot to the female main character, but I actually really loved him I feel like that's always what I love about relating to a female main character, is that when the guy is done everything she needs, that means the guy is everything I need. And I need to get myself a Milo, maybe in a little bit less of a slutty version, but I mean, look at him. He has tattoos, a mustache, and low-key a mullet. I can't figure out if it's a mullet or just like long hair, but I think it's a mullet. And you know me. At one point, she literally described it as a little slutty mustache, and I was like, yep. You get me, girl. And there's so much depth. And the thing I said was that I was scared they weren't gonna like dig enough into it, but I feel like they did. Like, I feel like they really got into some of this stuff. Sure, there was some stuff that we could still deal with, but like I said before when I was reading, I have a feeling we're gonna get a second book in this interconnected series with his sister. I have a feeling that book might go more into his family and their dynamics, because that's like the only thing that I don't feel like they went that much in depth with, but I do feel like they went a lot in depth with it, and they gave this it gave this realistic way of it, where he was like, Milo was very, very open and was like, I get the fact that you really want to talk about this. I don't want to. I can't physically right now in my life yet talk about this or forgive these people, all of that stuff. So I do feel like that was going into the depth of it for him and showing that like, this isn't like a thing you just fix in a book. Like, this is something he's gonna have to work through his entire life. I would have loved this book even if it was a little bit longer, but I actually feel like it was a perfect length. Like, it was the perfect length where not a single moment of it dragged on. I'm not left with like oh, I need answers to this and this and this. I am hopeful that we're gonna get a second book for this series. She does that most of the time, and I'm gonna be reading it. Yeah. So 5 stars for our first book of this video, and it is 1:15 p.m. I am going to put these in my ears and listen to this. First of all, I need like a little break from reading. I need lunch. So we're gonna put these in, put in an audiobook, and make some like pasta pesto. We are down to 18 hours, and now we have started this. We're only 10% into it on page 35, but I can feel like this is gonna go by really, really fast, and that is why I knew I needed to read this. Let me actually get up into a comfortable position. I feel like this video, but like all 24 readathons are like this. Like, it's just one person sitting at the exact same place talking about books. And I love watching them, so I'm hoping someone's gonna enjoy watching it. Basically, we follow Charlie, who has been through something tragic. I'm not sure I can say exactly what kind of tragic thing that is. But because of this, she's going home early from college, and she gets a ride from this guy she doesn't know, a stranger who offered her a ride. He's supposed to go to the same college as her, and like they met at this board where you put up papers to ask for rides or ask for people to ride with you and then split the cost of gas. And basically they meet in front of this board. It turns out they're going kind of the same place, not completely, but they're going in the same direction. He has a car, she does not. He needs someone to pay for half the gas. So she says yes. However, and I haven't really gotten to that point yet, but she thinks that he's like a little bit suspicious, and it's apparently just gonna get worse and worse throughout the book how suspicious he gets. And at the same time, she knows that there is a killer on the loose, and she starts to suspect that the guy driving her home in the middle of nowhere is the killer. And I think that just sounds so interesting. So far though, I am hooked, and let's just continue reading. All right, I'm not doing the math anymore because I'm just gonna embarrass myself and keep being like, we're this long into it, but we have 16 hours and like 30 something minutes left, and I'm officially halfway through this book. Not finished, but halfway, which honestly, I feel like I kind of blinked and all of a sudden I'm halfway. I know that's not a fact. I know it has been several hours since I started this book, but I think it's a positive thing that I feel like it's been the blink of an eye. I'm really enjoying this book too. I'm so happy. Even if it doesn't become 24 hours and it just becomes me reading 2 books in one day, I'm still gonna be really, really happy about it. I'm really enjoying this book. So 162 pages into it, 50%, which means there's only 160 pages left. Easy finish today. And then depending on what time I do finish it, because I might have to stop and eat dinner before I can finish it, but once I finish it, I think we won't start another book today, but we'll just continue with the audiobook. I'm just excited. I'm happy, okay? Today was what I needed at the very least. I needed a day to just sit down and read some great books. And it's just very exciting. I mean, first of all, I feel like there are a bunch of ways it could go, and yeah, sure, some of the ways would be a little bit predictable, but like, I don't think I would mind if this was predictable. Like, I'm not looking to be shocked completely. I'm just looking to have a good, fun time, and that's what I am. I'm tense. I am really tense. It's very, like, and I love it. Or not love it, but I'm really, really enjoying this. I'm having a lot of fun. It's not anything special. I'm not, like, covering under the blanket scared, but I am, like, tense. And I am intrigued, and I'm feeling all of the vibes, is basically what I'm saying right now. But I'm gonna continue reading, see how far I can get before dinner time, and then after dinner we'll finish it. Maybe I'll read while eating dinner, or maybe just do the audiobook while eating dinner. I'm really happy that I ended up doing this. If anything, I just got 2 fall books done, one for my TBR and one for the challenge. And I think that's pretty well done too. All right, I just checked. 5 hours later, and we now have like 14 hours and something 40 minutes left, which scares me. I really wanted to get down to like 10 hours tonight. Not sure that's gonna happen, but we will see, and we will try our very best. But I finished Survive the Night by Riley Sager. I really enjoyed this book. I didn't love it. I think the ending, let us just get into it. The ending felt a little bit like, okay, let's calm down, you know? It's kind of hard to explain without spoilers. I get it because of like the ending made me get the ending. If you read the book, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, just know it makes sense what I'm saying, okay? However, it didn't make the reading experience more enjoyable. I was sitting throughout like maybe this much of the book, and I was like, okay, now we're going a little bit over, you know? I had a few things in mind that I was like, this could happen. And while what did happen was like a jaw-dropping moment, it was just like actually, it wasn't a jaw-dropping moment. It was more of like a, huh? You know? I would rather, like I said earlier, have had it be a little bit more like you could guess what would happen, but it would actually make sense, than you couldn't guess what happened. It did make sense. It's not that it didn't make sense. It was just very unbelievable. And while I get it, it's a thriller. It doesn't have to be believable. I feel like the rest of the book did a really good job of building up this real tension that felt believable, just for the end to kind of just grow into this big thing where you were like, okay, let's calm down. With that said, however, I did really enjoy this book. I really, really enjoyed it. I can't believe I've read 2 books today. That's kind of insane. That is a little bit insane. I think we're landing on a 3.75. It was nothing special, and the ending pissed me off a little bit and took me out of the story. But the first like 50%, 75% maybe, I really enjoyed. I had a fun time with it, and it was a quick and easy read. So, all in all, I'm very happy that I read this. I'm just happy overall. Honestly, I'm gonna continue the challenge because I want to try, but I would be happy with just this. I'm going to maybe pause the timer, maybe just put on an audiobook while I sit here and think about what I want to do next. And I will see you all when I decide on it. All right, I apologize for the terrible lighting. I can literally do nothing about it. That's a lie. I could move around a little bit, but I don't want to do that. I just did a little bit of journaling plus dinner while listening to the audiobook of this. And not to like toot my own horn, but when we started it, I think I was like this far into it today. So I've listened to a lot of this audiobook, even though I didn't think I had. To be fair, I think the audiobook is very short, and therefore, and I'm listening to it on a quicker speed. So I do think I'm getting through it kind of fast, but I am 218 pages into this. And I'm really enjoying it. It's doing what it's supposed to do, you know? I'm trying to like cover up the light so it's just behind me. Yeah, it's doing what it needs to do. I'm feeling good about it. I'm enjoying it. It's fast-paced and interesting and all of that. It feels like reading about like real teenagers and stuff. And the game is getting kind of interesting. I don't think it's like taking up as much as the book as I like thought it would, but stuff has gone awry and it's kind of interesting. So we're gonna put this away though. And here's the thing. We're gonna change this video because I already know tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be like, no, I don't wanna do this. And I'm just gonna admit the fact that 24-hour readathons aren't for me. Here's what we're gonna do instead. We're gonna make this a 12-hour readathon, and maybe I'll make that a new thing. Not a new thing, I know other people have done this before, but like I'll make it a thing on my channel that every once in a while we'll do a 12-hour readathon, because that is technically just a day spent reading. And it's still a challenge. Like normally I would never sit down in a day and read 2 books, but we're almost on the 12th hour here. We have like an hour left, and I was thinking, let's just read for that 1 hour, go to bed, and then we're gonna finish this video off. And I know some people are gonna be like, but you promised us a 24-hour readathon. This is just what it's gonna become. I just gotta admit, 24-hour readathons just aren't for me. They just are not. One day spent reading, I enjoy that, and today I can really feel the fact that I needed that. But we're gonna spend that 1 hour we have left getting into Lightlark. We're starting this book. We will read the first hour together right now. So I'm here to finish off this 12-hour readathon. I know you guys are gonna be, some people are probably gonna be like, this is so annoying. Like, she kept being like, I can do this, I'm so excited, and then she didn't even do it. I don't actually care. Like, I really don't care, because I had the best day ever. I needed today. Like a final day, not a final day, because I can't get to do this again in the future. But I just needed a day to just lie on my couch and read books, because I have in fact not moved from this very spot on the couch most of the day, except for like going to the bathroom, eating, not even eating, but like just cooking, and then I went back in here to eat, and then the little hour we were creative in. And I have a little pile here of books we have had to do within today's video. We're gonna go over them quickly because this was one video and you guys remember. People watching, 5 stars, 5 freaking stars. If you have been putting this off because you've been hearing mixed opinions about it, please just give it a chance. Please. I have a feeling this for me is gonna be big, Great Big Beautiful Life and Wild Side. I feel like there's one more book I'm thinking about, but it's gonna be those books all over again where I have to defend them with my life because people hate them and I gave them 5 stars and love them. Survive the Night, Riley Sager. I really enjoyed this. I did. I know a 3.75 doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot. It's a quick, easy thriller. It takes place in November with a little bit of snow, so like take that into consideration. If you want to read this, maybe save it until like a snowy, creepy November night. But fast, quick-paced ending had me a little bit like, whoa, let's relax for a second. But other than that, enjoyable. One of Us is next. Not done with this, but we are over halfway through this one. So I can easily say that I'm going to be enjoying the rest of this. Again, I think it was in the start of this video, I said it, my Fable, always linked down below, so if you're curious on my rating on any of the books I didn't finish in this video, they will be on there in the next like week or so, probably. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. Also really happy I did this challenge and had this audiobook, because I think that also helped me get even more into the audiobook, so I will now be listening to it when I'm doing some stuff in the next couple of days. And then we did give this an hour. I didn't get that far in that hour. I made it 20 pages into this. And you know that's kind of slow for, if you look at how I read all the other books. But it's also getting a little bit late. I'm tired. I spent the entire day reading. So give me a little bit of grace for that. But I'm 20 pages into this, like I said, chapter 3. And I'm really intrigued. I'm really excited to read this book. I'm not sure if I'm gonna include this in a video or not. I think my next video is gonna be like of maybe the final books on my fall TBR. So I'm unsure if we're gonna do 4 books and include this, or if we're just gonna do 3 books and include the 3 last books on my fall TBR. With that said, I hope, even though this didn't end up going exactly how I promised and the plan, I hope you guys still enjoyed this video. If you want me to do more 12-hour readathons in the future, I will totally make it like a thing where I do that every once in a while, because I had so much fun, and sometimes you really just need a day to binge read a few books. And I had a great day. I really enjoyed this, and I hope you guys did too. But let me know down below what you thought of this. If you're too disappointed that it wasn't a 24-hour readathon, if you want more 12-hour readathons in the future, all of that sort of stuff. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notifications so you get notified every single time I post a video. And I'll see you all next Saturday for our final fall video.